Satan never cast out his demons. How can Satan cast out Satan? Christ asked those who accused him of casting out demons by Satan's power. It is written, "And the scribes which came down from Jerusalem said, He hath Beelzebub, and by the prince of the devils casteth he out devils. And he called them unto him, and said unto them in parables, How can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself, and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house." Mark 3:22-27. To the scribes and Pharisees, Christ could not be the Messiah because he helped people on the Sabbath and claimed equality with God. John 10:33. Therefore, they believed his power only came from Satan. But having been cast out of heaven, Satan came to earth not to help humanity flourish, but to destroy it. Revelation 12:12, John 10:10. He could do that because we were all sold under sin. Romans 7:14. Why then would he fight his own army of demons by casting them out of man? Satan will never do that for at least two reasons. First, he loves being worshipped by man because we were made in the image of God. When God created man, he said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness." Genesis 1:26. Satan therefore seeks to be worshipped mostly by those whom God the Father predestinated to eternal life. Romans 8:30, and gave to his Son. John 17:6-10. It makes him feel as though God himself was worshiping him. Second, Satan knows that God hates seeing his elect defile or prostitute themselves by bowing down to idols. See Jeremiah 7:18, Ezekiel 16. For the Lord is jealous for his glory. See Deuteronomy 6:14-15, and shares it with no one. Isaiah 42, verse 8. What sorcerers or magicians or healers did to the demon-possessed who consulted them was multiply their demons or replace them with others, maybe less aggressive, but just as harmful, to increase their victims' act of worship toward Satan. Satan thus sought to humiliate God by defiling his most amazing creature and mostly his elect. Christ came to put an end to sin and strip Satan of the power he had over them. It is written, "And having spoiled principalities and powers, he," meaning Christ, "made a show of them openly, triumphing over them in it," meaning his cross. Colossians 2:15. Christ died to free God's elect from the power of sin. Romans 6:14. So that they might freely worship God and walk safely regardless of the roaring of the devil, 1 Peter 5:8, in a way that honors and glorifies him. Christ asked his Father to keep them from the evil one, John 17:15, because he'll never stop trying to enslave them so that he can brag by displaying them like trophies. Are you one of those that Christ came to seek and save? To find out, come to Christ.